FSU got the party started in week one with a huge statement win over LSU. The game was played in Orlando, but plenty of top recruits were on hand to watch it. So let's bring on Michael Langston from Warchant. Mike, what's the buzz on these recruiting streets after FSU's 45-24 win over LSU? And who are some of the top targets in attendance?
Yeah, it was wild, Josh. I mean, I said before they were red hot going into this game. They've done everything in the summer to get it ready. Now, after this game, this was kind of a perfect storm. Top wide receiver Jeremiah Smith was there. Guy that you did an interview with, LJ McCray, was there along with his partner, four-star DB, Zay Mincy. KJ Bolden, Charles Lester were all there. There's probably around 40 or 50 kids that were there that I ran into. Four-star offensive lineman Max Buchanan out of Central Florida was also there. They had a ton of kids there, and the buzz is like, I'll be honest, like I covered when it was Jimbo here, and this feels even stronger than what that was because of the culture and the relationships, and now the product is matching those relationships, and it's I would say their recruiting is about to go to nuclear based on where they're at now because of kids wanted. I think kids believed. I think it wasn't something where you had to sell what they are. I think kids saw that last year about what they could be, but now this feels different than last year when you beat LSU because you didn't just go in there and win. You went in there and throttled a top five team and did it in one half. And so what are these guys going to look like when they play a full game? I think recruits were jacked up. I think Luke Cromhawk was telling me the whole section was like, he was telling me kids were ready to get on board that weren't committed to FSU. It was like, it was a lot of excitement and buzz. It was just something I have not seen in a long time, maybe since that 2012 when Jimbo was pulling in these guys left and right. But this feels different, even more different than that. It's another level for FSU right now. They're hotter than fire, and they're the talk of the country. I know everyone's excited about Dion, and that's a pretty great story, and that's awesome. But it's a different level the way people view kids view FSU now that I've ever seen. I'm like, I did not expect to see it this quickly.
Yeah. It's been, it is different because the last couple years, it seems like Florida State, when they enter the season, they recruit very aggressively in the offseason, but FSU on the field, they haven't been playing very well. So when it comes to recruiting, it's like once the season starts, they go on the defensive. It's like they gather up all these commitments during the offseason and in the summer, and then we just try to hold on to them throughout the year. That's kind of been the FSU way. But this season is different, Mike. And do you think that Florida State recruiting will be on the offensive rather than the defensive as the season wears on?
Yeah, I do because I mean this was a calculated risk. No matter how you look at it, you get all these top kids here, getting Jeremiah Smith here. I mean, you're trying to push and flip a guy like that. You're trying to flip a Jaden Perlot from Georgia. It's a 5 or 4 star linebacker. You're getting all these top kids. LJ McCray. Like if you don't produce the product, that looks good. Not that you have to win, but just your product's good. That's a risk. And I think they're on the aggressive where they're kind of like, we don't care what the game is, bring them. We feel good about our product, and that I think they feel strongly about it. It's no longer where, well, let's pick the right game. Let's make sure they go to a game that they could win or they look good. It's like they feel so good about their product that they don't care if kids take other visits to other schools. I think they trust what they're selling and pitching and what their program has done and established. And I was talking to Armando Blunt's mom late that night, and she was kind of like, talking about, just the different things of how great it was, how excited it was, and the excitement around, and just the way people view FSU is just totally different. And they're not just talking like, hey, they're a top five program. They're like, they're a legit national championship type of caliber team. That's the way recruits view this program right now. And I think for the FSU staff, I just think they feel really good about their product. I see it when I'm out there at Moore Athletic Center around these coaches. You can see the buzz. Like they're not like, oh, we hope we can make a good impression. They know, they feel confident. There's kind of a giddiness to their whatever their program is and where they're at. And I don't think they feel satisfied with wherever they're at. I think they're always moving to do something bigger. And I think this season is kind of the perfect start. to what they did. It's still one game, and I tell our fans that it's one game. It does. I mean, it's big. It's a big moment, but they have to show consistency throughout the whole year, and that's the thing I think that's next for this FSU staff and their recruiting to keep it going, to be consistent throughout the whole year because they haven't done that yet. They still haven't won hardware. They still got to get some hardware to really knock it out of the park to another level. But yes, their recruiting is going insane right now.
Yeah, and there wasn't any commitments coming out of the week. Like you said, week one, the excitement was there. A lot of great quotes, a lot of excitement, a lot of great pictures on Twitter and all that. But there was one target that is now trending to Florida State coming out of the weekend, and that's South Florida DB Jamari Howard from Miami Central High School, trending on the recruiting prediction machine towards Florida State. Who's the top competition right now when it comes to Howard?
I would probably say Florida. That's kind of the team I've heard the most around him. I think Michigan State is also in there because he has an affection with Mel Tucker. I think he likes what Mel's doing, but I think overall Florida is the competition they feel that is biggest to them. But they felt since he took that visit and decided to not go to Florida and went to FSU for multiple days, I think at that time, I think it's been very strong. We're now starting to see people put picks out there and say FSU's the team. But I think for me, ever since that visit and his connection with Patrick Surtain and just what FSU's doing, I think FSU has been in the driver's seat for that one. So I'm not surprised now people are starting to, kind of make that pick and it's trending towards FSU. And I feel very good about him. I also feel that FSU made a big move with LJ McCray in this game. I think before this game, they were probably second or third, probably third, and then now I think they're either tied or if not slightly ahead. I think Jeremiah Smith's another one that there's some confidence building consistently every time he sees FSU or visits, and I think certainly after the performance that Keon Coleman put on, and for these people that haven't seen Jeremiah Smith, he's very similar in body type to Keon. So I was told like this game really connected with him where he could envision himself in doing the same things that what Keon was doing. So I think overall there was several guys that they really made a move for. And I think you're going to see some guys that you haven't seen visit FSU either in a while or haven't visited at all that you'll see on their visits list when they have some of their home games coming up. Some even the games like Southern Miss or just games that aren't big marquee matchups. I think there's a lot of kids that now want to see FSU and be there and be around this electricity that they have going on there.
All right, Mike. Well, week one for the Noles goes about as good as it could have. Now, if they start racking up these wins, some of those recruits that you talk about are going to jump on board. So thanks for stopping by the Inside Scoop to preview it all. Mike Langston from Warchant, thank you.